Hey folks, welcome to Market Technical Analysis by InTheMoneyStocks.com, your leader in pure technical analysis, avoiding all that Wall Street hype. Today, Wednesday, August 27th, 2008. Well, into today's video, folks, we're going to discuss a little bit about our projections going forward over the next couple weeks, because really when it comes down to it, there's not a whole lot to discuss about the intraday market today, although there were a couple nice moves in the market, and in fact, the overall market did move slightly higher today. Today, the Dow was up about 90 points, the Nasdaq was up about 20.5 points, and the S&P was up about 10 points, which overall is a nice day. And you guys know after that mega drop we called on Monday to the day, we have moved to a more neutral stance for the rest of the week, and we're just going to stay there because anytime you have light volume in the markets, you could move up on light volume, you could move down on light volume, but it doesn't mean a whole lot because of the light volume. So we really want to wait till next Tuesday, and again, the market is closed on Monday due to the holiday. So next Tuesday, we want to wait till then to really start scoping out the markets for the next move in this market. And we do have an idea. We'll talk about it some more tomorrow and on Tuesday about where we expect this market to head over the next week or two. Alright, so let's take a look at the intraday market today and just get a feel for what happened, because there was a bunch of things in play today. You had oil moving up and natural gas moving up as Gustav, a hurricane that's heading towards the Gulf and a possible Category 3 by next Monday to hit the Gulf, is roaring on its way in the Caribbean right now. And we really want to keep in mind that this is a key play because you could have a major issue with all the oil rigs in that Gulf area come Monday or Sunday or whenever that starts to hit. Alright, and we have to realize that. And that did take the overall USO, which is the oil fund, up. And you can see yesterday's close was right around here. Today's close was up here. So you had a nice little gain on oil today, about $1.75 higher on the day. Now the key here is this, guys, and I want everyone to realize this, is that you're going to have volatility in oil over the next couple days leading to Friday's close. Now the question will be is how bad is the storm going to be? It could be a non-event and really just veer off or never strengthen enough, or it could be a major event. The whole thing is you have to be careful going long or short on oil into that weekend, because by the time Tuesday the markets open on Tuesday, or even on Monday, you're going to have some impact from that storm. And if it turns out to be a non-event on Saturday and Sunday, you could be looking at a gap down in oil, and vice versa. If it becomes a huge issue, you could have a gap up on oil. So you have to be very careful with that. And I do want to send out that caution flag. Whenever these storms look like they're going to hit over a weekend, whenever that commodity or stock market opens the following day, or whenever it does happen, open after the storm, you never know exactly what you're going to get. So I do caution that ahead of it, and just be aware of that. Now, gold again today was up a little bit. You just had it up 13 cents, though. So today you obviously see oil leading the pack, and that's purely a result of this storm. Alright, so oil again up $1.75 on the day. Now the intraday ES, we'll go over that because you'd actually had a nice move up for most of the day, and then a little selling late in the day. And I want to just point this out. In the light volume, you tend to have accentuated buy programs because a small buy program can look very large in a market where there's no volume. Someone wants to buy 1,000 contracts of the ES and does a market order of it or something like that. It can shoot it up a whole lot more when there's no volume out there to be bought. All right, and for instance, you can see that here on these jumps, and then you have consolidation, jump again, consolidation, jump again, and then you really have a little bit of an M pattern top with a double top on the intraday chart. And I want to just point that out because it's a great shorting opportunity when you get that double top right here, and you can see the fall that ensued right to the 50 moving average. And the one thing about this chart today is it really paid close attention to the moving averages and the various technical patterns that we like to follow. We like to follow the 20, the 50, and the 200 on an intraday and daily, monthly, weekly, you name it, any time frame we're using. We use the 10-minute on the intraday, though, just so everyone's aware of that, as it gives us a broader range. A lot of people use the 5 or the 1, which is okay, but you just have to refer to the larger time frame to get a better sense of the overall move if it's going to be a bigger move. Now, one thing I would say about this is notice the 20 moving average. It really worked as a base most of the day until we got that M pattern top in the market on the intraday basis. And that's a beautiful thing, because whenever you have this working so many times, you usually can play it. For instance, first buy would be a first hit of the 20 right here. So you can buy it here, and you obviously look for a little bit of a topping tail right here, which you've got on this candle, so you can sell it right here. Retrace, again, hits, you can always take a shot there again. Look at that buy right there all the way up here. Now you want to sell coming into this, anywhere. Even I would have probably taken profits right here. You got a little extension move, and then you can always take a shot at that again. Although the more it hits the 20, the more it breaks. And we obviously, have been teaching our webinar participants, which is going on yesterday and today, and we'll have another one in 2 weeks for those of you that missed this one. But there's keys to the hits of the moving averages, and obviously we want to make sure that we understand that. And the more times you hit a moving average, the more likely it is to finally break that moving average. And a perfect situational setup right here was a double top. So you get a double top, which is a bearish sign of major resistance right up here, and then the next time it comes to that 20, it doesn't stop. And that would be the time where you're going to hold on to it after you get a double top if you're watching for a move down, and you get a nice sell-off right to the 50 moving average, which now works as huge support. You get a bounce off right back to the 20 and consolidate into the close. So really a nice intraday chart to analyze for those of you that are kind of learning the charts, understanding analysis techniques here, and I would just definitely point to that chart. Now again today, extremely light volume, but I want to go to the daily charts of the SPY so we can get a better picture of what's going on in this market. Now, as I've been mentioning, and you guys know the past calls we made, we called the top here, buy here for a bounce right off the 20, and we got that bounce. Then we called the down day here and so forth, and then we called the next down day to the day here last Monday after a little bit of a push up. Now we're really sitting on a major support or a little near-term support line, and I'm going to draw it in right here. You can see it connects right to from here all the way through, and this has become a pretty solid support line that we have to watch going in this market. If this line breaks to the downside, the market can be in some trouble. Now on the upside, you have the 20 and the 50 moving average right here coming together, and the market's trying to get above those. If it's able to get above those, I favor the upside, and I think we will next week as well. Although again, over the next day or so, it's not going to mean a whole lot. I really want to see come next Tuesday where we're sitting in this market to start to evaluate for a possible move. So keep that in mind, folks, is that even though there was an update today, it doesn't mean tomorrow just won't be a light volume down day, and then Friday a light volume up or down day, and we're not going to really read much into that, as the light volume in late August is not that important. Come next Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, that's when we really crack down, and you guys are going to get the premium analysis in these videos as we start to look for the next big move in this market, and we'll do our best to call it to the day or days if it should happen. On the upside, alright, so we established the downside resistance support level right here. The upside resistance level, really right at this moving average area here, would be number 1, where we're struggling right now. So you really have a near-term area right here. Now, we closed above it today. We'll see if we continue up tomorrow or retrace back below. You guys know how we feel it in the money stocks. A break of a key resistance on a one-day issue is nothing big. Alright, too many times the light volume especially will just whipsaw you out of that, and it won't be anything important, and they'll just reverse it the next day. They just take all the little guys' money, the weak hands, and so forth. But the key here is the next resistance area would be right around here, alright, in the charts, and then after that the big one would be right here. Alright, this is the big one that I'm really watching. You take this out to the upside, and you could have a clear shot all the way upwards of this line here, which would be the 200 moving average. Now, if we can do that, that'll be a big rally in this market. And we, again, going into about mid-September, we're favoring the upside. There are going to be a few down days here and there in the choppy market, as always. But we are looking as of now, and that could change. In all fairness, we'll reevaluate come Tuesday. But as of now, we are thinking that the markets may have a little more upside in them before a possible next leg down into late September, early October. So keep that in mind, folks. That's just a rough projection, and it's open to change as always. All right, but that's our general projection. Now let's take a look at the Nasdaq, which was up about 20.5 points today, and you can see that the Nasdaq was a beautiful buy right down here, which we had called for, a nice move through this 200 moving average, which was a fake out on a breakout. And anytime you have an extension move, and I've said this in multiple videos, and I referred to it just in the last chart, when you take out that moving average and you've already had an extension move, oftentimes it's to get the weak hands on board, the long position, only to reverse it down, and we called for that. They sure did it. And obviously you see the little bounce off the 20 moving average here, back to the 50, and then the down day on Monday, which we had called for, and so forth. And then again, after this, we've just gone to a neutral stance for the last 2 days, Tuesday, Wednesday, neutral. We're going to maintain that neutral basis, as it could be an up day on light volume or a down day, as I stated earlier, and it doesn't mean a whole lot. You just kind of got to sit there and deal with it. I've barely been doing any trading this week, as the light volume is just not worth it. They can whipsaw you too fast and too much, and those of us that are pro traders obviously know out there that the lighter volume, you're just increasing your odds of having a stressful day, basically, or having to fight a position or taking a stop out. So in any case, something to watch for on that chart. Let's look at the XLF, because the XLF's been consolidating like the whole market here, and we will continue to look at what this pattern means over the next few days. I would like to point everyone's attention to this because you have two moving averages of resistance right here. Alright, we're going to have to break these moving average resistance points to the upside if we're going to get a good move up on these financials. As of now, this pattern does not look particularly good to me. And to us at InTheMoneyStocks.com, but we have to wait to see if it can take this upside out. If it takes this out, all of a sudden it's a whole new ball game. On the downside, if they break it down and they take out this level right here, then all of a sudden we're getting scared again, as this market could look to dump all the way down to first resistance here, and then possibly even lower to the next support lines, on the downside. Alright folks, that's enough analysis for today on this very light trading day. Again, oil was up on the storm. Watch that storm on the news because it will affect the markets if it really looks like it's going to be bad. Come join the chat room, wonderful chat room where we analyze the markets all day long. You can ask us questions. You can ask us technical questions. We analyze all stocks during the day and just discuss the markets all day long. Also join